Kevin Durant last night.
K-Dizzle.
The last game of the night for people who were asleep or didn't know or whatever, or maybe you didn't watch the news. He had a milestone yesterday.
That's right. Kevin Durant last night became just the 8th player in NBA history to crack the 30,000-point mark. Congratulations to KD.
Mazel tov.
2-time champ, 2 times final MVP, and now, if we didn't already know it, one of the all-time greatest scorers to ever touch a basketball.
And you know what? No doubt about it. I can remember the first time I saw him at the Palace of Auburn Hills playing the Pistons for the first time, up close. Mm-hmm. He was rail thin. Everybody was ranting and raving about this guy. Unbelievable scorer, unbelievable shooter, just a tremendous player. But I'll tell you this. That came in, the 30,000-point mark, and I get it. The Suns are scuffling, but that didn't even move the needle. People just are out on KD. I've said it before here on The Odd Couple. Kevin Durant is NBA dead. Most players, only 8 players have done this. This would have been a big deal. But Kevin Durant, as good as he is, we know that the 2 finals MVPs with the Warriors, me and you both agree if he wasn't there, they ain't winning those. LeBron might have 2 more. Mm-hmm. Let's just keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
He was outstanding.
Without
he was the best player.
Without a doubt.
No question. But since then, the way his career has taken a path with the Brooklyn stop and the injuries, I want out of there. They didn't trade him right away. They trade him to the Suns. He goes there. You remember the injury with no contact? He's doing a layup line. He gets injured. And now the Suns are a garbage dump. Like seriously. They really are. Like, what are they? They were supposed to be. When he went there, you remember everybody was jumping on that bandwagon about how great. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant, they got the team. Oh, my. This is going to be a problem. No, it has not been a problem. And I believe that Kevin Durant, as great as he is, doesn't move the needle. He's NBA dead.
The craziest thing about KD is for about a decade-ish, he was undoubtedly the second best player in the NBA. He even knew it. His whole point was, I remember, in an interview, he said, I'm tired of being second. I'm chasing LeBron. I want to be the one. I want to be the one in the titles. I want to be the one, MVPs. I want to be that guy. And I appreciate that open and honesty. Hey, he wants to be top dog. The top dog, the issue is, for as great as he is, you just mentioned it. I say it every time. People, especially living in L.A., who's the best scorer, greatest scorer you've ever seen? I say with my own eyes, it's Kevin Durant, not Kobe Bryant. If you ask me hardest tough shot maker, Kobe Bryant. If you ask me, the person who maybe to lead my franchise over him and Kobe Bryant. But the flat-out best scorer who makes it look easy on all levels, he's going to shoot 90 from free throw, 40 from 3, 50 from the field goal, post you up, mid-range, three-pointers, knockdown free throws, whatever you want, left hand, right hand. Kevin Durant's the best scorer I've ever seen. I didn't see Jordan play in person, so I always start with that.
You are that young, huh?
I mean, his heyday, I could have gone, like if someone took me, but I just never saw Jordan in person. Yeah, yep. He's like the one kind of the great.
And I always say, I was spoiled, because that's when David Stern moved the sports writers from up top to courtside, was during the Jordan era.
He's like, y'all need to see this.
I watched and I heard all the chirping and you know what I mean, and all that stuff up close. I tell you all the time, that famous Craig Elo shot, I'm sitting courtside, like unbelievable. And I remember Clifton Brown worked for the New York Times, a basketball writer. And I remember turning to Cliff and I said, they're going to let Jordan get the ball. Like, if I'm the coach,
anybody but
2 guys are going to defend, because it was just an inbounds and whoever had it had to shoot. Mm-hmm. I would have had 2 guys on Jordan and make them pass to somebody else. They let you. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, of all people, he's going to kill you. And
you saw the superior athleticism. He just hung. Craig Elo was right there.
Craig Elo was all over.
He just was
him.
like, I'm a normal human. I'm going to go on down now. I can't hang in the air. The levitation ain't like that. And Mike just said, no, I'm going to hang up here another extra second and a half. But here's my issue with Kevin Durant. I said all that to say how great he is. But Kevin Durant was too great to become a hitman for hire. Kevin Durant was too great to be a king without a kingdom. And that's my issue with Kevin Durant. Is that For the scoring, it makes sense. Top, eighth person ever get 30,000 points. Absolutely. From the minute he walked onto a basketball court on a national stage, even at Texas, he was a walking bucket. To the Seattle Supersonics, turned Oklahoma City Thunder a walking bucket. Everywhere he's gone, he has been that. Even with Steph Curry, 2-time MVP, walking bucket, Kevin Durant. But the problem is what he's become. He's just floating around. Remember the show Kung Fu? Where you just float around from town to town, from city to city. Who needs some help in this town? Who needs some help in this city? That's what Kevin Durant became.
David Carradine.
David Carradine, yep. He became a hitman for hire. And you don't identify him with something, right? You don't identify him. This is where he is. This is where his home was. And to be honest, Rob, what makes it even weirder is he was getting kicked out of places. You were the one at Oklahoma City Thunder. Russell Westbrook was absolutely great, but it was supposed to be your team. He chose to, let me get out of here. Russ is too much. He's too hard on me. Let me get out of here. You go to the Warriors. You're the best player of the team. I know Steph's the most popular and famous. You're the one two-time final MVP.
He was the best player.
You were the better player. They start picking on you. Draymond saying this. They ain't showing you love.
Called him the B word.
Called him the B during the game.
And we national television.
Called him a B word. Said we won without you. We'll win after you. Got picked on. Left again. Then, instead of going and I'm about to do my thing, Kyrie calls him. Hey, me, you, James Harden, let's go over here. That don't work out.
And I'm going to say
he played
this.
well, but that don't work out.
That foot on the line, that might have changed his legacy. If he makes that, remember, the Bucks won the championship that year. Had he made that shot, you remember, because Kyrie was hurt and so was Harden.
Yep.
And he got balling. Him there in the game
he
7. He had 50-something points.
He was balling.
And that's the game winner if his foot's not on the line. I mean, that would have changed everything.
Absolutely had a chance to. So now it's weird telling the story of Kevin Durant because you're like, man, he's as great as you tell me. Well, why doesn't he have an identifiable home? Why are people upset that he won 2 championships with the Warriors? Why is he hopping from this team to this team and not making a difference when he hops to the team? That's what makes it even weird. He goes to a team, and it's not necessarily making the difference because Kevin Durant is here now at this stretch of his career. So, marvel of a talent. Probably play another 2-3 years, which means he might be able to get in the top 5. I have to, look at the numbers a little bit more.
Well, remember, let's give him some respect because with all those injuries, he's missed 2.5 seasons. So it's incredible that he's at 8 with missing 2.5, almost 3 seasons. That's incredible.
And how great he's playing right now. I mean, he was balling last night.
Yeah, but their team is bad.
But I'm just saying how he's still as far as being a bucket. So it's hard to tell the story of Kevin Durant, but the scoring has never been an issue. The best score I've ever seen in person. You look up, he probably got, 24 tonight? I'm talking in person. You look at 35. It was the easiest 35. You're like, God, that's why they call him easy money sniper.
Efficient, no doubt.
It's just easy money when you watch him. So it's been the overall of it all has been a little underwhelming considering how great he is, but dynamic. The best player for, like I said, behind LeBron for a decade. Rob and I talk about Kevin Durant, 8th person to reach 30,000 points in the NBA. But is he dead? Has he become irrelevant?
NBA dead, I'm telling you.
Hit us up, 877-99 on Fox.
All right, let's go. Josh in Arizona. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Josh?
How y'all boys doing? I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yes, sir.
I have to agree with Rob. Unfortunately, he is NBA.
Why gotta be unfortunately?
Well, I say unfortunately because I think this is not a Kevin Durant issue. This is more so of a fan issue. I think we've given the game to meatheads, and when you do something like that and you forget the enthusiasts of this game, you get people shooting a bunch of threes. You get the lopsided games and the non-competitive nature of what we have today. And I blame Adam Silver for that. There's no.
I'm not going to argue with you, Josh. Yeah. I'm not going to argue with that because the game and the product. I've been covering the league since.
I'm not saying it anymore.
1987.
We just had a commercial that you said it in that just aired 5 minutes ago.
And Josh, it's hard to watch. I'm with you. Thanks for the call.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
Who we got?
Let's go, Marcel.
Marcel, what up, brother?
In Boise, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, what's going on, fellas, man? I love the show, man.
Thank you, buddy. Marcel. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, man, I just wanted to say, man, I love, man, Kevin Durant, man, when he was at Golden State. But where I really fell in love with him, man, was in the Olympics, though. Because he did some things in the Olympics, man, that I really could appreciate. I don't know if he's really necessarily dead if he can get on the right team right now.
But he's been on a number. He's been on some teams, and when he went to Phoenix, you got to admit, people were gung ho about the Suns. They thought, "Oh my God, they got Kevin Durant.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got Devin Booker. What? You can't stop those two guys, right? Before they even got Bradley Beal."
Yep.
So
absolutely, man.
All right, Marcel.
We'll see.
And they made the finals without him.
Yep. Thank you, Marcel. Appreciate
you.
Yep, Pete. Yep, thank you, Pete in Vegas.
Pistol Pete, what's good?
Yes,
What's
right.
going on, fellas?
How are you?
What's up?
I'm doing wonderful. Hey, real quick, you guys, awesome show. Been a fan of you guys. Well, Kelvin more recently, but Rob, you're on point.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate that, Pete.
As far as the scoring goes, guys, obviously it's hard to compare, but I would compare Durant to one of my favorite scorers of all time, David Robinson. They could have been the best. They were just too soft, so they really couldn't get down and dirty. If you added a little attitude, maybe so, but for me, if I'm going to pay and watch somebody put up points, it was either Reggie Lewis or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. If you just go to watch scoring, you just need to sit down for a minute, and those two dudes will take over the game.
Rauf was Steph before Steph,
Pete.
wasn't he, Pete?
Yeah, he was.
The beast, and then the last was Len Bias, my favorite.
Man,
Nonetheless, guys, have a great show.
Yeah, appreciate you, Pete.
Yeah, we
Obviously,
didn't get to
Len
see
Bias,
him in the
man.
NBA.
He would have been crazy
in college.
In the NBA.
I remember when he died.
Man.
Obviously I was a kid, but I remember that whole scenario.
Yep.
Mr. Crisp. From San Francisco.
Okay.
You're on the Odd Couple
Crisp
Fox
like
Sports
Cookie
Radio.
Crisp or Crisp like
That's
fresh?
right. The big All-Star game is coming your way.
Yeah, the All-Star game's coming our way. San Francisco's a dump. But listen.
My God.
What should have happened? Rob, big respect to you. Been listening to you for years.
Well, I appreciate
Kevin Durant should have come back to the Bay Area. He was hot when he was here. If he had come back to the Bay Area, play with Steph and Draymond again, squash the beef, play the ball, it would have revitalized his career, and he could have actually made another run. But at this point, he's just a huge guy who can shoot great shots, get lots of points, and never see another ring again. That's the way it is.
Yeah,
that's the way it's going to be.
That's what it feels like.
The issue is, thank you for the call, Mr. Chris. The issue is, would Mr. Chris or anybody want to go back where they disrespected you, where you were the two-time final MVP? They don't show you in the video.
That right there was because that was organizational.
If players have issues, but the organization is supposed to be above the petty.
Right, for the organization to put together the greatest players who ever played for the Warriors. This guy's a Finals MVP
after winning
a
championship. This wasn't like we just won.
Right.
I was the Finals MVP, and you don't put me.
And we're opening the new arena, and we're gonna act like he didn't exist.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
so
petty.
the disrespect between that, Draymond, and other stuff, I can see why he's like, no, I'm good on them. All right, we appreciate the calls on that.